Hey folks, T-Witty here. Welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Returns. I got pretty mad last time, but really the only reasonable way through that entire combat sequence was safe scumming. And yes, I find that very irritating. Alright, here we are. John Bartlett. Van Grass. Who's this John Bartlett guy? Cherry Bomb flags you down as you walk through the door. Hey Beavis, there's a woman looking for you, Jessica something. She's waiting for you by the stage. Bellevue type. Wouldn't order anything, won't touch anything. I think she's afraid of diseases or something. Thanks, Cherry. No charge, chummer. Why's the bar so empty? Who's around? Is that guy still bothering you? I'm gonna have a look around. We don't get much action in the early afternoon. Just a few salarymen slumming Touristville and hoping to talk to Madam Sinful and some die-hard regulars. Madam Sinful? That's what the downtown folks call Mrs. Kubota. It's a Touristville thing. They like her to have a naughty name like that. Who's around? I just got in, but I think Coyote's cleaning the back bar. Mr. Delilah is hanging out in his usual place. The vendors downstairs came in a few minutes after me. Oh, and Bartlett's here. Don't think you've met him yet. Who's Bartlett? John Bartlett. Big presence at the end of the bar. He's in the biz. Connected. You might want to meet him. Is that guy still bothering you? You mean my ex? Shane? Yeah. No, he hasn't been in since that last time. No calls or pages or handwritten notes either. Weird, he was so persistent. I guess he finally got the message. Maybe he'll find someone at that Universal Brotherhood of his and settle down. I'm gonna have a look around. Have fun. New objective, talk to Jessica. Full of life with a quick smile, the man tilts his head and watches you approach. Hey guy, what's shaking? A little of this, a little of that. What's it to you? Have you looked around? There's a whole lot of shaking going on. I hear that one, Omei. I might have something for you if you got the Nuyen. Don't got time or money, chummer. Maybe next time. Time is money. I'm listening. You ever hear of the Nephilim Network? Of course you have. An in-the-know guy like you has to have heard of the premier merc team out there. If you say so. Of course I have. Then you know you can hire us to run with you when you need expert help, not just any chube calling himself a runner. We cost more, but we're worth it. Very nice. Let's talk to Van Grass. I'm very busy. You show me something worth my time, or you walk away. Data from the NTSB. Renreku would pay to keep it quiet, and Ares would pay to know what it is. I've got 800 Nuyen for something like that. Deal. Etiquette Shadowrunner. I know you'll double dip on this one. Make it 1,000. As long as you keep bringing in stuff like this, sure. Nice. Alright, we got 1,000 Nuyen. Not bad. Jessica Watts. At a glance, you can tell that Sam's sister Jessica is from a different world, the opposite of Sam in almost every way. Her suit is tailored, her eyes are sharp, and her style exudes authority. Ms. Watts? Jessica Watts? She eyes you up and down warily. She does a good job of hiding it, but it is clear that she is well outside of her comfort zone. Yes, and you are? Beavis. I'm looking into your brother Sam's death. Name's Beavis. I used to work with your brother Sam. My friends call me Beavis, and I counted Sam among them. That's funny. I didn't think Sam had any friends. Quality over quantity, I suppose. Friendship is defined a little differently in the shadows. Well, maybe former business partners is closer to the truth. I suppose it would have to be. So you're the one I was told about on the phone? A woman who called herself Coyote contacted me this morning to inform me that my brother was dead, and that I should come to this place and speak to someone about an investigation. Sam didn't die of natural causes, he was murdered. That's right, and I'm hoping you can help me get to the bottom of this. I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you. And I appreciate you coming all this way. I'm guessing the Barrens isn't what you're used to. I must admit it isn't. None of this is. She then furrows her brow, regarding you more critically. You're not with the police, are you? No, I'm not. That a problem? Figured that all out yourself? I'm getting that a lot lately, but no. By the look on her face, she is clearly struggling with this. I'll be honest, I would just as soon put this all behind me, and the fastest way to do that is through proper channels. Surely there is an official police investigation going on. Why not let the professionals handle this? I am a professional. Lone Star? Professional? Not the ones I've seen. I think they can use all the help they can get. But you must have better things to do than waste your time searching for whoever killed my low-life brother. We lowlifes have to stick together. Besides, I'm not doing it for free. With this kind of payday, few things I'd rather be doing. First, Sam was my friend, and second, I'm being paid for my trouble. She seems genuinely surprised. Someone's paying you? I find it hard to believe that anyone who really knew Sam would put up the money. Who is it? Sam. He hired me from beyond the grave. I'm afraid that's on a need-to-know basis. Actually, Sam hired me himself. I don't understand. It's called a dead man switch. It triggered when he died. I don't expect you to. It is what it is. He set it all up before his death as a contingency. Am I to believe that my drunken sot of a brother hired you to find the person who killed him after he died? Her boardroom mask drops momentarily, and in a sigh, she reveals a brief glimpse of real emotion. I left Seattle to get away from Sam and his bullshit. Now I'm back, he's dead, and I still have to deal with him. Jessica composes herself, and in a breath, the mask is back in place. Listen to me, Beavis. You seem like a decent person, but I'm trying to move on with my life. Our mother killed herself last year, and Sam... Well, Sam was Sam, you know? I've worked so hard to put my family issues behind me. I don't want to see this drag on. I'm closing in, I can feel it. You're not asking me to quit, are you? I would love nothing more than to give you closure, and quickly. I appreciate that, but I think I'd prefer to just let it be. No one else needs to get hurt. On the streets, honor still means something. I'm sticking with the job. Sam's paying $100,000. Can you beat it? Your brother had my back when I needed him. I can't walk away from this. Are we talking about the same man? My brother was worthless, Beavis. Worthless. He used people. She sighs. She's done. Never mind. I can see that you are not going to let this go, and I respect that you are honoring my brother's memory in your own way, but I hope you can understand how emotional this is for me. Jessica's demeanor instantly changes, from reluctant to helpful in the span of a single meditative breath. Maybe you can do things in a way that the police can't, and maybe I can help. What do you need from me? When was the last time you saw or spoke to Sam? It's been ages. I can't even remember. The bartender here recalls Sam complaining about arguments with his sister. There was a note on Sam's body, sounded like an apology, an offer to meet up and bury the hatchet. It was signed Jessica. Nothing, not even a phone call, a letter. I wrote many such notes in the beginning, but I haven't made such an effort in a long time now. I don't know why he would have kept it. Where were you on the night of Sam's murder? I will overlook the implied accusation and tell you that I was at a fundraiser all evening, a very crowded fundraiser. Did Sam have any enemies? Sam's biggest enemy was Sam. I don't know of any others. You would likely know better than me these days. Were you and your brother close? I think I've made my feelings about Sam pretty clear, don't you? You don't seem to care whether his killer faces justice. Sounds like you hated him. You don't sound sad that he's gone. I mourned losing Sam long before he died. Show her the picture of her and Sam as children. Jessica takes the photo from you guardedly, as if it might sting her, but that guard drops the moment she looks at it. Where did you find this? Sam's bunk. I can't believe he kept this. It was one of the few possessions he had. Maybe not such a bad guy after all. You looked so much alike as kids, and happy. She smiles through a brief reverie. We were twins, partners in crime, best friends. What happened between the two of you? Things were different back then. We were different. We were a family. Then after our father died, things began to change, and we couldn't get back to a new normal. With our dad around, there was always a reassuring order to our lives. But after, everything got mixed up. You can never really appreciate the importance of a person in your life until they're gone. The remorse plays wet across her eyes, and it seems that she's not just talking about her father. Jessica then steels herself to tell the rest. Sam tried to be the man of the house. He truly did. But he couldn't handle it, and pretty soon he had spent every dime of our father's life insurance. Every dime. After that was gone, with Mom working 2-3 jobs, he spent all her money, too. I couldn't stand the way he abused her trust, so finally I just had to leave. She holds the photo forward, one part of her ready to relinquish it along with the past, and another looking to hold on to both. May I keep this? Sure, I got what I needed from it. Sorry, it's evidence. Please do. Thank you. Tell me about your mother and her death. She was a devout Catholic. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that she sacrificed her life for Sam and me. But she turned a blind eye to what Sam was becoming, refused to acknowledge his downward slide. I couldn't watch her do it anymore, and so I moved out. After I left, we drifted farther and farther apart. I wasn't here when she died. In fact, I didn't even know about it until I returned to Seattle 5 months ago. Where were you living before you moved back here? Cal Free. What brought you down there? It was less of what brought me there than what made me leave here. I felt lost in Seattle, so I moved to California to see if I could find myself. And did you? Actually, yes. While I was there, I developed a whole new outlook on life, a vision for what the world could become, and I came back here to help make it happen. I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you, Ms. Watts. Just as well, I need to get back to the office. But before I go, you should know that I'm reinterring my mother's body tomorrow, and I'm arranging to have Sam buried with her. The funeral is tomorrow at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament, 7 o'clock. You're more than welcome to attend. Thanks, I might swing by. Wouldn't miss it. Goodbye, Beavis. I hope you find what you're looking for. Stay safe. Karma Game 2. Objective complete. Talk to Jessica. Alright. Onward. Alright. Well, let's talk to Coyote. When Coyote sees you, her eyes glisten with gratitude. There he is, the elf of the hour. How's Gino doing? How are you doing? Where's Paco? Hard to say. He's pretty burnt, malnourished and dehydrated too. Paco's taking care of him. He's got friends who know about that kind of thing. She smiles. He's a good man, that Paco. The world looks pretty different to me now that I've got Gino back. What happens now? He's still going to be a runner? Time to settle down, you know, with Paco? She laughs. Don't get ahead of yourself, Omei. Paco's pretty, and he's been there for me when I needed him, but I don't think I'm the marrying kind. See you around, and don't forget about me if you need some backup of your own. Mr. Cluey! Glad to see you well, Beavis. And you, Mr. Cluey, holding down the fort? You too, Mr. Cluey. What's the state of the troops? Thanks, big guy. How's everyone here doing? As always, though people are more on edge than usual. Word got around about that latest Ripper killing, and people aren't feeling safe. And when people feel unsafe, they either go to ground or they huddle up. You noticed how empty the streets are these days? That's because everyone's either locked in their squats, holed up in places like this, or seeking refuge in the nearest Universal Brotherhood chapter house. Safety in numbers, chummer. Not that we need numbers here. I got it covered. I'll bet you do. See you later, Mr. Cluey. All I ever needed was one. Later, bud. A man your size covers a lot. Take care, big guy. Later. Alright, well, before I talk to Mr. Delilah, let me go see... I want to see if the merchants have upgraded their inventory at all. Dr. Castle glances up only briefly from her charts. Her impish friend, on the other hand, tracks your every move like some sort of humanoid raptor with a mouse under its shadow. Lived to see another day, have you? That remains to be seen. Still more work to be done. Just a pit stop, Doc. Night's not over yet. That may soon be up to you, Doc. So long as you end up here in the end and not on some organ grinder's table, I'm satisfied. Granted, a repeat customer means a person courting death more often than any good doctor should condone. But I don't suppose I can dissuade you from your course of action. Sorry, Doc, job's not done. Say nothing. If only life was so simple. Very well. Then let's talk about how I can help ensure you make it back alive once more. How'd you fall in with this operation anyway, Doc? Dr. Castle pauses in her work, setting down her tablet and appearing to grow introspective. I suppose you might expect that I had a fall from grace. Certainly that is the case with many of my peers. If not that, you might think that I was compelled to do this because a friend or family member became a Shadowrunner, and I hurried to their assistance one fateful night. But the reality is that I grew up knowing this is what I would do with my life. My parents were both Shadowrunners, and very successful ones at that. So successful that they retired in a very large house and raised a litter of kids who grew up hearing the impossible tales of their parents' younger years. Of course, we were expressly forbidden to follow in their footsteps. We were all expected to attend university and take full advantage of the opportunities they had fought so hard to give us. So Mom and Dad were proud to see me pursuing a medical degree, and they had only minor reservations about me applying that expertise to the treatment of Shadowrunners. After all, they never would have survived long enough to meet and fall in love if not for the ministrations of several street docs along the way. So I suppose you could say I was born into this life after a fashion. She picks up her tablet and resumes her work. Is there anything else I can help you with? Let's see your medical supplies. I am interested in selling my grenades, because I really can't do anything with them. I'd like to look at your cyberware. Any upgrades? No, it's all the same. Never mind. Algernon. The elf called Algernon appears to be in a hushed but intense conversation as you approach. However, the other party of this discourse is nowhere to be seen. Turning to greet you, Algernon dismisses his invisible associate with a wave of his hand. Welcome, fellow child of the Sixth World. What can I help you with today? Tell me a bit about yourself, Algernon. My story is not so different from those who have come before. I am but a merchant, though one whose wares are far from mundane. I came here from Tyr Tairngire 4 years ago after the governor of Seattle signed an exclusive trade agreement with the Council of Princes. And so as the flow of magical goods came to pass through this city's ports, so have I. At times I miss the Tyr, but as unlikely as it may sound, this new home of mine is far more interesting. Is there anything else I can help you with? Never mind. Eric Mersman. Need a fresh set of clothes? Same stuff. Doesn't seem like anyone's inventory has upgraded. T.B. Gruberman. The orc stands at attention and looks every bit like he's waiting for a commanding officer who he can crisply salute. He only appears at ease when he's cleaning the barrel of a rifle or counting out the bullets in a magazine. The rest of the time he appears as he is now, ramrod straight and primed for anything. And how are you, my friend? Fine day to fire a weapon. What say you? Tell me a little about yourself, Buster. Were you military? After a fashion, yes, sir. Sergeant in the 31st California Militia. It's no longer a recognized unit, and there are those who would say we never were. But someone had to stand up to the Tyr, and it fell to us. Tyr Tairngire? Yes, sir. I was in Cal Free when the elves came marching down from the north in 36. After the UCAS pulled their support, we had little in the ways of an organized defense. But what we did have was a stockpile of weapons and ammo down in Oakland. The locals in NoCal held out long enough for us to bring the heat, and I tell you, all the magic hoo-ha in the world ain't enough to stop a V11 Hot Rock from cracking your dome. We drove them elves all the way back to Eureka. Would have pushed them all the way back to Portland, too, but some ninny down south reached out to the Japanese for aid and got our own version of Normandy for the trouble. Things went to hell in a handbasket from there. Don't much like to talk about those later days. So let's talk guns instead. Can I get you anything? I mean, extra capacity just doesn't do anything for me. Surely I will find a better gun eventually. David Fry II. You look like someone who needs the latest in Matrix tech. What can I get you? He's got nothing new either. I did fine in my first decking encounter. Alright, well, that'll do for home base. Let's go talk to Delilah. Gotta hire a crew. If you are talking to me, there is business to transact. Am I right? Of course you're right. It's your job to be right. It's always business with me. Yes, Mr. Delilah, I have a need I think you can fill. Of course you do. That's why you came back. Street talk is that you are tracking the Ripper. What can I do for you, Ripper Tracker? I need to put a crew together. You got scratch, or are you planning to pay me out of your earnings? How much is this going to cost me? Well, for your speed, hired help will run you about $1,200 a head. If you start taking on tougher jobs, well, the more experienced the runner, the higher the rates. I can pay the runners up front. Excellent. We agree on terms. I've got some runners on call if you've got any special requests. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Let's see them. Shannon Halfsky. Fixer contacts, Nephilim Network. Shannon Halfsky, human, shaman. A Salish tribe street shaman that works with nature to overcome the concrete. Okay, so I can add 2 people. H2O, human, adept, 1200. Too much of anything is dangerous. The key to perfection is a balance of mind and body. Latera, dwarf, adept. Act, do not react. Bend like the willow, block like water, move with a purpose. He's got a machete, a kunai ninja suit, Seska Black Scorpion, Killing Hands, Mana Fist, Magic Resistance 1, Fichetti Frag Grenade, Smoke Grenade. Oh, I can look at their skills and everything. He's got 3 chi casting, 2 close combat, 2 unarmed. Latera, dwarf adept. Close combat, melee weapons, dodge, and chi casting. With an axe. Some nitro. Grim Peeper, troll, decker. He sees the data people try to hide, then he takes it, and it can be yours for a price. Portex, human, decker. I'm my own decker, I'm not hiring a decker. Drugs and bites, nodes and IC. The lifeblood of a decker, or some dreck like that. Verbena V, elf, mage. Queen of fear and empress of pain. She'll make them wish they had better defenses. Gallowglass, human, mage. Want someone that can build you up while tearing your enemies down? No problem. Blackhand, dwarf, rigger. He likes his drones to get up close and personal before he pulls the trigger. Kamatsu Cat, troll, rigger. Fly it, drive it, steal it, kill it, use it. He's got what you need for any run. Johnny Boy, elf, samurai. Rule 1, get a weapon. Rule 2, load it. Rule 3, kill every last fraggin' one of them. Let's see, he doesn't have any skills I'm interested in. Death Sigh, troll, samurai. If they stay away, I shoot. If they move in, I crush. Don't matter to me how they die. Alright, he's got shotgun and rifle. With gear for both. That's a possibility. Harvard Soul, orc, shaman. When the shaman wants what the spirits want, the road to success is laid. Jojotun, dwarf, shaman. A shaman who doesn't love conjuring isn't worth the spirits she can summon. Nephilim Network. Ray Quandary, human, assassin. My job in the network is operative suppression, or as it's called on the street, wet work. Okay, these guys are much, Tom, troll, brute. My job is simple. Crush those I'm paid to crush, no questions asked. James, human, burned out mage. My talent began to weaken. The Nephilim Network had the tools to forge a substitute. Cylon Siret, human, combat adept. Cylon's role in the Nephilim Network is to kill, both up close and from a distance. Kendon, dwarf, combat decker. The Nephilim Network has trained me to hunt data both in the Matrix and the meat world. Just in case, human, combat rigger. Guns and machines are the lifeblood of a good op. The network trusts me with both. El Duce, human, cybered warrior. The network has rewarded me with a state-of-the-art replacements for my weak meat body. Winterhawk, human, initiate. Magic is power, and I need to have it all. The Nephilim Network was happy to oblige. Alexander Falk, dwarf, support mage. My magic is a tool that supports those the Nephilim Network sends to the front lines. Troll, tech mage. Matthew. I am the Sixth World Dream. I combine both magic and machine. Aruba, human tech master. The network has trusted me as the avatar that will control the machines of this age. Art, elf, techno shaman. The network allows me to speak to spirits both in the natural and the electronic world. Killuminati Alabrad, orc, urban shaman. The network wanted a shaman that comes from the streets with a full command of spirits. Alexei, human utility man. Trained to be inserted by the network when the job calls for anything and everything. Levi, human weapon master. Fully trained in all manner of weaponry and given a frontline role in the network. I want this guy. I think a crew of 3 is probably enough. Hire these runners and meet Shannon at the NTSB warehouse. Warning, you can still hire more runners. Do you want to continue anyways? Yes, I do. Return to the docks. You return to the docks to meet Shannon Halfsky. Although the Ripper's latest victim was her brother, Shannon appears cool and professional, a consummate runner by birth if not by trade. She'll get the job done, and hopefully one of the hearth spirits in this place can point you towards the Ripper. Dealing with spirits can be tricky business, but when they deliver, it's pure platinum. One doesn't have to be an Amerindian shaman to summon and control spirits. Anyone with magic talent can do it. But Shannon seems to have a particular connection to the spirit world. As you approach the gate, you know something's not right. The docks, already strange and uncomfortable at night, trigger the need for caution. Then you see it. The guards are missing, and the gate's been smashed in. Equip. Oh, I'm pretty happy with what everybody had. You have Karma available to improve your character's attributes and skills. Open the Karma screen. Not enough? About time you showed up. Looks like we weren't the only ones who wanted to take advantage of the situation. A bunch of mercs have locked down the area. I don't think they're here for us, though. My guess is there's something worth a bit of coin left in that warehouse. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Damn, I was hoping this would be a milk run. Any chance we can sneak past? Probably not. They've been doing regular patrols around the perimeter, and the front door looks like it's locked. New objective, break into the NTSB warehouse. New objective, keep Shannon alive. Well, that's what we're going to do on the next installment of Let's Play Shadowrun Returns. Until then, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, I hope you will give it a like. Consider dropping a comment and subscribing to the channel. If you're interested, please check out my Discord and my Patreon. Those links are in the description. But regardless, I appreciate your time and attention. I'm grateful for you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.